Hello everyone, welcome back to iQuanta. So I've started with number system playlist, and in the number system today I'll be talking about index of greatest power of any number in a given factorial. So let's understand the concept first. So what is a factorial? So factorial is simply, if I talk about n factorial, it means n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 dot 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 1. So that means n factorial is product of n natural number till we get 1, right? So we multiply in a decreasing order. So if I ask you what is 5 factorial, so 5 factorial will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 and so on, right? Now we have to look for index of greatest power of any number. So what does it mean? Let's try to take an example and let's try to understand the meaning of each and every word. Okay, so let's talk about 10 factorial. So 10 factorial is 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, now guys, just a second. Okay. Now, index of greatest power. So, if I ask you index of greatest power of 2 in 10 factorial. So, it simply means when I simplify 10 factorial and if I try to break in the form of powers of 2, so what will be the highest power of 2 in this particular factorial? Highest power of 2. Right? Similarly, if I say index of greatest power of 3, it means we are looking for highest power of 3. So let's try to do this manually first. So you can see there is 1 power of 2 here, 2 power of 2 here, 1 power of 2 here, 3 power of 2 here, and 1 power of 2 here. So if you simplify this, you can see how many powers of 2, 4 and 4, 8. So this can be written as 2 raised to the power 8 into, similarly if I ask you power of 3, 1 here, 1 here, 2 here. So this is 3 raised to the power 4, 1 plus 1 plus 2, right? Next, the turn of 5. Next prime number is 5. So 1 here, 1 here. And next prime number is 7, whose power will be 1. There is no other prime number in this classification, you can see. Now, this can be written as in this format 2 raised to the power 8 into 3 raised to the power 4 into 5 square into 7 raised to the power 1. Now, if I ask you what will be the index of greatest power of 2, so index of greatest power of 2 means 8. 8 will be my answer. Index of greatest power of 3 means this. This represent index, right? Index of greatest power of 5 will be 2. So, in simple language, we are basically saying what will be the highest power of 2 in this particular factorial. What will be the highest power of 3 in this particular factorial. Now, since we were dealing with 10 factorial, it was easy to do this thing manually also. But what happens when the bigger factorial comes? Then this manual method is not convenient for us. So there is a direct method to find out the highest power, or you can say index of greatest power of any prime number. First, I am talking about prime number, then I will move on to the composite number also. Okay? So let's understand that method with the help of this particular question. So question says find the index of greatest power of 2, 3 and 5 in 100 factorial. So I am talking about prime number first. So method is, since I am looking for power of 2 in 100 factorial, what will I do? I will divide 100 by 2. And I have to do this successively. Successive division I have already taught you. You can see the previous video. Now, the quotient is 50, again divide by 2. Quotient is 25, again divide by 2. Again divide by 2. You will keep dividing this until और unless आपका जो क्वोशिएंट आ जाता है वो 1 ना आ जाए, ठीक है, या यू कैन से फर्दर डिवीजन ना हो सके। देखो, इफ यू फर्दर डिवाइड इट यू विल गेट क्वोशिएंट एज 0, so there is no point of dividing it once we get 1, or we can easily understand that there will be no more quotient available, right? So we will stop here. Now you got these quotients, these are your quotient, take the sum. 75, 87, 93, 97. So the highest power of 2 in 100 factorial will be 97. So in this way you can find out the highest power of any prime number in a particular factorial. Let's apply the same concept in this particular example, in this particular question. So first, quotient is 33, again divided by 3. Quotient is 11, again divided by 3. Just a second, let me make a space for this particular part. Okay, let's do it here. Okay, 3 3s are 9, right? And 1. So if I go further, you can see I will not get any other quotient, right? I will get quotient as 0. So I will stop here only. Now you have to take the sum of this, right? So 33 plus 11 plus 3 plus 1, that will be 48. So highest power of 3 in 100 factorial will be 48. Next, highest power of 5 in 100 factorial. So again you have to divide 100 by 5, you will get quotient as 20. Now 5, quotient as 4. Now if you further divide, you will get quotient as 0, right? So you will not go further, you will stop here only. So take the sum of this, answer will be 24. So highest power of 5 in 100 factorial will be 24, highest power of 3 in 100 factorial is 48, highest power of 2 in 100 factorial is 97. Now if you can observe one interesting thing from this particular part, I have taken the same factorial. Now if I ask you what will be the power of 2, 97, power of 3, 48, and power of 5, that is 24. So in a factorial, if you see, the number of 5 will always be less than number of 3 and number of 2, right? That means in some questions you have to decide whether you have to take number of 2s and number of 5, जो आगे हम देखने वाले हैं. So in that case you can directly say number of 5 will be less than number of 2 and number of 3. So आप number of 5 लेंगे. कैसे लेंगे, क्या होगा, वो आगे समझाऊंगा पूरा डिटेल में. अभी जस्ट एक हिंट दिया है, इसको आगे कनेक्ट करेंगे, ठीक है? चलिए आगे चलते हैं, इस पे आते हैं. Now let's talk about composite number. So question says index of greatest power of 4 in 100 factorial. We already know the highest power of 2 in 100 factorial is 97, which we have solved here, right? Now question says we have to find out highest power of 4. Now use your common sense. Question 100 factorial, just a second, yeah. 100 factorial is basically 2 raised to the power 97. It contains 2 raised to the power 97. Question is asking for highest power of 4. So can I write this as in this format? Can I write this as in this format? Can I write this as, so 2 raised to the power 97, but we already know वहां से हम 4 की पावर पे आए हैं. So can I say the power of 4 will be 48, right? Now this was done manually. Instead of doing this manually, what you can do next time, find out the highest power of the prime number. So highest power of prime number is 2 is 97. We have to find out highest power of 4. So ask yourself, how will you make 4? 4 is 2 square. So just divide 97 by 2. Because you need 2 2s. You need 2 2s to make 1 4. So I'm checking out of 97 how many 2 2s I can take. So, or you can say how many pairs I can take, because one pair will result into 4, right? So 97 divided by 2, you have to take the quotient, okay? So 48 number of 4s will be there. So you do not need to do this much. Clear? Let's take one more example. If I ask you highest power of 8, highest power of 8 in 100 factorial. So 8 is basically 2 cube. 8 is basically 2 cube. So you need to see how many triplets you can make from 97. So 97 divided by 3. That will be your answer. So highest power of 8 in 100 factorial will be 32. Next. Next, let's apply the same thing here. 9 in 100 factorial. Highest power of 3 we already know. 3 की पावर है 48. So 3 square 9 की कितना होगा 48 divided by 2. That is 24. That's it. Highest power of 25. So we already know 5 power is 24. So highest power of 25 will be, since 25 is 5 square, 24 divided by 2, 12. So remember one thing, the shortcut, this method is applicable only for the prime numbers. When you have to find out the for the composite number, you have to see how you can connect that prime number to make that composite number. For example, for 4, for 8, for 9 and for 25 I have discussed. Now let's take few more examples, something like this. 12. So 12, question says index of greatest power of 12 in 100 factorial. So we know 12 is basically 2 square into 3 raised to the power 1. So what I'm gonna do, I will be finding the highest power of 4. I will be finding highest power of 3. So highest power of 3, I have already taught you how to do that. So highest power of 3 is 48 using this method. So you have to find out the highest power of 3 using this method first. So we got this as 48. Now highest power of 4, we have to apply this method and we already got that, which is 48. Now if you observe, 4 raised to the power 48 into 3 raised to the power 48. My expression is basically coming out as 4 raised to the power 48 into 3 raised to the power 48. So can I write this as 12 raised to the power 48? So what will be the highest power of 48? Highest power of 12 will be 48 only. Clear? So what you have to do during the composite number, you have to break that composite number in the product of prime factors. I will take one more example. 40. 40 can be written as 8 into 5 or 2 cube into 5. So first step is break composite number in the product of its prime factors or prime factorization method. First step. Second step, find out the individual powers. So highest power of 5 in 100 factorial is 24, which I have already taught you. Highest power of 2 cube, highest power of 2 cube in 100 factorial is 32. I have solved now this 32. Now guys, remember one thing. If I will take one example. Suppose if I have 2 square and power of 5 is 1. I have powers of 2 as 2 and power of 5 as 1, right? Now, if I observe this particular part, okay. So question says, suppose how many zeros in the end of this particular number? How many zeros in the end of this particular number? Number is this, okay? So zeros means a number divisible by 10. So number divisible by 10 means it should contain 2 as well as 5, right? Then only I can say number will be divisible by 10, right? Clear hai? Now, question says how many zeros in the end of this particular number? You can calculate manually and you can directly say number of 0 will be 1. But can I use this with the help of some concepts? Try to focus. It has number of 5 1. It has number of 2s 2. To make 0, I need equal number of 5, equal number of 2s. So even it has let's say 2 raised to the power 100 and 5 raised to the power 1. If you observe, still this will give you only 1 0, because to make a 0 you need equal number of 5, equal number of 2. So it contain only 1 5 and it contain 100 2s, but it does not make a difference because since the power of 5 is less, this will decide number of zeros. Right? Let's take more example to make you understand. You can calculate this manually also. That's why I'm taking these examples. So 16 into 5 is 80. You are getting how many zeros? Only 1 0, right? Now, if you observe, power of 5 is 1, power of 2 is 4. So who is deciding basically? The less power, right? Because equal number में quantity चाहिए. Same apply here. The power of 8 is coming out as 32. Power of 5 is coming out as 24. So who will decide? Because we have to make 40. 40 is equal number of 8, equal number of 5s. Since it has less power, so it will decide. So answer for this particular question will be 24. I hope this concept is clear. And the same concept I'm going to use later also. In this part, trailing zeros. Now let's apply this. Trailing zeros means, guys, zeros at the end of factorial. When we solve a factorial, let's say 5 factorial is 120. So how many zeros at the end of 5 factorial? 1. 6 factorial is 720. How many zeros at the end of 6 factorial? 1. 7 factorial is 5040. How many zeros at the end of 7 factorial? 1. So trailing zeros means number of zeros at the end of factorial. I hope this part is clear, and the type of question comes in the exam like this. Find the number of trailing zeros. Clear? Now, since I have already explained this little bit information, that zeros at the end means number is divisible by 10. Number is divisible by 10. And if a number is divisible by 10, it means it is divisible by 2 as well as 5. Right? It is divisible by 2 as well as 5. Now, let's go back to this part. For a certain factorial, number of 2's coming more than number of 5. But who will decide number of zeros? Obviously, the less power. Because if it has more number of 2's but it has less number of 5, it will not increase number of zeros. Because to make a 0, equal number of 5 and equal number of 2 should be there. So who will always decide? Number of 5's. So that means, guys, अगर किसी क्वेश्चन में आपसे पूछा जाए हाईएस्ट पावर trailing zeros in any factorial or zeros at the end of any factorial, you have to calculate only highest power of 5. Remember this thing, because number of zeros is decided by highest power of 5, because 2 will always be more than number of 5. Remember this thing during the case of factorial. ठीक है, चलिए, let's solve few questions. This one, find the number of trailing zeros in 100 factorial. So we have to find out highest power of 5. 24, quotient is 0, so take the sum. Answer is 20 plus 4, 24. That's it. Let's take one more example to make you understand. Suppose question says, what about 1000 factorial? So 5, 200, 40, 8, 1, 249. So in this way, you can find out number of zeros at the end of any factorial, right? Now, I'm gonna discuss one interesting concept with you. Please focus on that part also, which is very important related to number of zeros in the case of factorial. Now, 0 factorial till 4 factorial. 0 factorial to 4 factorial. If you observe, number of zeros will be 0. Because 4 factorial is 24, it does not end with any 0, right? 5 factorial till 9 factorial, number of zeros will be 1. You can check this. 5 factorial will contain 1 0. 5 factorial is 120. 6 factorial also contain 1 0. 7 also, 8 also, 9 also. 10 factorial, but 10 factorial till 14 factorial contains 2 zeros. You can check this manually with the help of this method also. You have to look for highest number of 5. 15 factorial to 19 factorial contain 3 zeros. Because whenever the multiple of 5 will come, the number of zeros will increase because number of zeros depends on number of 5s, right? So you can see 5 से लेके 9 तक कोई problem नहीं है. 9 के बाद जैसे 10 factorial आया, a multiple of 5 comes into picture, number of zeros get increase. 20 factorial to 24 factorial. Number of zeros 4. But interesting thing, in 25 factorial to 29 factorial, number of zeros will increase by 2. Because 25 is basically, if you observe, 25 is basically 5 square. So it is not bringing 1 power, it is bringing 2 extra powers. Let's check this manually, okay? Let's solve for 24 factorial first. So 24 factorial, 5 4s are 20, 5 zeros are 0, right? So the quotient is 4 and 0, so 4 plus 0, 4. But when we check for 25 factorial, 5, 1. You can check 5 plus 1, 6. 5 plus 1, 6. So it remember this thing, guys. Always number of zeros increase by 1. But when it comes to powers of 5, that means 25 or 125, number of zeros will also get increased by 1 more 0. Okay, let's take one more example to make you understand. I hope this part is clear. Okay, I will discuss this till 50 so that this thing gets clear to each and every student. So now, since I'm not getting any multiple of 25, so the number of zeros will get increased by only 1. That means 30 factorial till 34 factorial, number of zeros will be 7. You can check this manually. I have taught you the method also, right? 35 factorial till 39 factorial, number of zeros will be 8. 40 factorial till 44 factorial, number of zeros will be 9. 45 factorial till 49 factorial, number of zeros will be 10. But since we are getting a multiple of 25, because whenever 25 comes or multiple of 25 comes, it increases the number of zeros or it increases the number of 5 by 2. So number of zeros will be 12, right? Because 50 is coming here into picture, right? Now, So you can see number of zeros is getting increased by 1 or number of zeros is getting increased by 2. Now next power of 5 will be 125. So when next power of 5 comes into picture, that means when you solve for 120 factorial till 124 factorial, 120 factorial to 124 factorial, and when you solve for 125 factorial till 129 factorial, you will see a jump of 3 zeros because 125 is 5 cubes. So 125 is bringing 3 powers of 5. Let me explain this with this method. So here zeros are 28, 28 0. But when you solve for this, you will get 31 zeros. You can check this manually. So what you learned today? अगर 5 का मल्टीपल है तो 1 0 will increase because 5 का मल्टीपल एक पावर लेकर आएगा. But if it is a multiple of 25 or it is a 25, so it will bring 2 powers of 5. But if it is a multiple of 125, it will bring 3 powers of 5. If it is a multiple of 625, it will bring 4 powers of 5. So remember this thing, okay? Now, interesting question. If n factorial is ending with 5 zeros, then what are the possible values of n? You can see there is no factorial which ends with 5 zeros. 24 factorial ends with 4 0 and 25 factorial ends with 6 zeros. So answer will be 0. There is no possible value of n for which it has 5 zeros. Next, n factorial is ending with 10 zeros. What are the possible values of n? You can check 10 zeros, the possible values are these. So n can be 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Clear? Next. Now, this is the interesting question. N factorial is ending with 25 0. What are the possible values of n? So, till now we have done this thing manually because I have already explained this thing in detail. So we remembered कि 10 zeros will exist for this and 5 zeros will not exist because there is no possibility. But if question setter asks you for random number of zeros and you आप इस तरह से तो पूरा manually solve करने नहीं बैठोगे, तो there is a shortcut for that also. क्या shortcut है देखो. आपको वो नंबर फाइंड करना है. रैंडम एक नंबर पूछा है क्वेश्चन सेटर ने. यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट दैट रैंडम नंबर विच हैज 25 zeros, right? So how to do that? There is a shortcut. नंबर ऑफ जीरोस आपको कितने हैं? 25 है. इसका मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 4 से. जितने भी जीरोस गिवन होंगे यू विल मल्टीप्लाई इट बाय 4, नॉट बाय 5. ओके, इट्स अ शॉर्टकट. ठीक है. सो वी गॉट 100. We got 100, right? This is a hit and trial method, guys, right? But this shortcut will help you a lot because it will save a lot of your time. Let's see how. So we got 100. I'm not saying my 100 is the right answer. Now I will cross check whether 100 satisfies or not. So I'm finding out number of zeros or number of fives. So 24. How much I'm getting? 24. So 100 factorial has 24 zeros. 100 factorial has 24 zeros. That means 100 factorial till 104 factorial will have 24 zeros. Clear? But question setter is looking for 25 zeros. So answer will be 105 factorial till 109. So possible values of n will be 105, 106, 107, 108, 109. तो क्या किया है? आपको कभी भी n फाइंड करना है, आप जितने भी जीरोस होंगे उसको 4 से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे. जो भी आपको नंबर मिलेगा उसमें आप नंबर ऑफ 5 चेक करोगे. वो आंसर वैलिड हुआ तो ठीक है, नहीं तो उसके अगले वाले पार्ट पे जाओगे. ये एक सिंपल सा फंडा यूज करना. यू विल गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ n easily within 30 seconds. Next, let's look at one more interesting question. Find the index of the greatest power of 10. So 10 means 2 and 5. So we have to find out the power of 2 as well as we have to find out the power of 5, which divides this particular. Now this is not a factorial, but we have to find out highest power of 10. That means highest power of 2 and highest power of 5. Now if you observe, the highest power of 2 will be, see, pattern is this. Next will be 2 raised to the power, 4 raised to the power 22, then 5 raised to the power 21, then 6 raised to the power 20, and so on. So if you observe, the number of 2's will be more than number of 5. You can see here number of 2's is 24. This is basically 2 raised to the power 44. So number of 2's will be 44. Here also number of 2 will be there. So if I take till now only, we are getting number of 2's as 44 plus 24 plus 20. You can see a lot of 2's are there. And since we have to find out highest power of 10, so obviously we have to check the lowest powers, right? That will decide my answer. So I'm not gonna check for number of 2's, I will be checking for number of 5, because I can clearly see number of 5 will be less than number of 2's, right? I hope this part is clear. Now first, the thing which comes in my mind is 5 raised to the power 21. Next will be 10 raised to the power something, 15 raised to the power something, 20 raised to the power something, and 25 raised to the power 1. 25 raised to the power 1, right? So you can see it is being increased by, since the value is increased by 5, the powers will get decreased by 5, right? Because powers are in the descending order and the base is in the ascending order. So 25 minus 5 is 16, 11, 6, 11 minus 5, 6, 6 minus 5, 1. It is being satisfied also. Now take the sum, 21 plus 16 plus 11 plus 6 plus 1. So 37, this will be 48. Let me add this again. Oh, sorry. This is interesting thing which just came in my mind. This is 25 raised to the power 1, but this will be 5 square. So because of this, you will not get 1 power, you will get 2 power. This is a very interesting thing. Now let's add 21 plus 16, 37, 48, 54 to 56. Options were also very close, right? So that's why the answer of this particular question will be 56. Okay guys, this is little bit about our course. So we have a live and conceptual classes followed by application class, this which happens exactly after your live class. So we learn something in our live and conceptual class and then we apply those concepts in new questions or CAT relevant question in the form of application class. Also, along with the questions, we learn few new, more concept in application class as well. After that, we have 2 modules especially designed for those people who are weak in maths, and this is something for those students who want to revise everything, or you can say who want to have all the shortcuts of quant at one place. So this is a module which is very relevant to find out all the shortcuts of quant. And this is our course details which you can check on our website. And if you are interested for our course, you can join and you can visit our website to get further information, and you can connect with one of our counselor also. So that's all in this video. We will meet in the next video and we will learn more concepts related to number system.